Time for a wrap-up on Operation Black and Blue. It'll take months before any tangible results of the protest are known. Washington moves at a snail's pace. We all know this. So if we're going to see any results, it'll be a long time before we see any tangible results, if any. That's just the nature of Washington. All we can do is keep the faith and hope some common sense comes out of Washington. It's not a town known for its common sense. The protest in Washington, as far as that went, the progress and the attendance seemed a little scanty at times, and the Washington group ended up splitting into two different factions, one ELD or me and the other Black and Blue, headed by two different guys. An unfortunate situation there, but their hearts and their minds were in the right place, and the goal of the whole thing was to draw attention to our plight, and I think they did that. On the other hand, the results in California by the Sikh trucking community were nothing short of astounding. They had a huge, well-organized protest. There was a commentator who spoke to the masses in Fresno, but he was very effective. Excellent speaker, got the message across. I was impressed with their turnout. I was impressed with their unity. I thought they did a hell of a job. And I was a little amused to see that we, the second and third generation North American truckers, weren't able to show the same depth of unity as the Sikh community did for their trucking community. Those guys did a hell of a job. I don't know whether we've just gotten a little bit tired of the fight over the years or what it is, but you know, when you consider that some of those guys have been in this industry 10 years or less, they're first generation over here doing trucking. Boy, they really had their hearts into it. So the long and the short of it is, we don't know where we stand with Washington. It's probably going to be that ELD'S come to be regardless of what we do. ELD'S was only part of the problem for us in regard that they limited the amount of money that we could make. But the amount of money that we make on the road trucking, we should be able to make a decent living within the regulations. And that hasn't been the case for years. Now the ELD'S will regulate our hours of service, but the problem isn't the ELD'S, truly. The big problem is the money. The big problem is we can't make enough money. They don't pay us enough money for the hours we're allowed to work. So truly, the ELD'S are just a tool, and it's ironic and typical of us in the industry that we're being asked to pay for a tool that will cut our pay. That's typical government thinking or ATA thinking. I don't know what the hell that is. Makes no sense at all. The point is, we need more money. It's just as simple as that. Hold us to the 11-hour rule, hold our feet to the fire. We're more than happy to comply with the regulations if we can make enough money. This is all about money. Now the ATA and the big trucking companies, they know it's about money. Well, it's the same argument here. It's all about money. It's all about our money, money for us. That's what this whole fight is about. So if we're not going to make enough money as professional drivers, there's no point in doing it. So the ATA execs and Washington and whoever else, they can come and drive the damn trucks because no one's going to do it for the money. And I don't know why they can't see this. Thousands of guys are leaving this industry every day, and they'll bring in immigrant drivers and they'll kick and moan and try to come up with patch theory solutions to this problem. It's pretty simple stuff, boys. You're not paying us enough money to do the job. I don't know when you're going to get it. And some trucking companies do get it already, and they're leaning in that direction. They recognize that the ELD'S can be a tool for seeing exactly how much work their drivers are putting in and how much they need to put in, how many hours to make a decent wage, how long they're being held at shippers. The ELD'S reveal this type of thing. The ELD'S show how many times we're delayed. And good carriers can go, hey, you know what? That's not only affecting the driver's productivity and affecting the driver's money because he gets paid by the mile instead of sitting there, he doesn't get paid. it's affecting the company's efficiency. It's affecting the carrier's efficiency. And they're all about money too. So they want to try to improve their efficiency to make themselves more money, and they know that they've got to pay their guys more money at the same time. So the smart carriers, the good carriers, are recognizing it as an efficiency tool rather than just a regulatory tool. And this is where we've got to lie our hopes, that some of these carriers are smart enough to see the problem and realize that not only does it affect their bottom line, it affects our bottom line, and they've got to be prepared to do something about it, and that means charging the shippers for every time we're delayed, figuring out how to compensate their drivers for every time they're stuck in traffic. We've got to be paid for all our time. And perhaps if this ELD is approached in the right manner, it can be taken as an efficiency tool to help us become more efficient and more profitable. And it's all about profit. It's about profit for them, and it's about profit for us. And if they can't figure that out, well, then they're going to have to figure out who's going to drive the trucks, because it's not going to be us, because nobody works for free. Nobody wants to work for free, and that'll be the end of it. It could be a good tool if it's properly used. I don't think no matter what we do, we can stop it. So let's hope they solve the problems with it, recognize it for the useful piece of equipment it could be used for, and move forward. And we all make a little more money at this deal. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you on the backhaul.